Welcome back to Movie Myth. Let us take you on the journey of the return of Black Adam. The hierarchy of power in the DC Universe is about to change. In today's video, we will feature 4 crucial stories to the DC animated universe. So let's get into it. A couple is sitting in a car and a meteor passes by, but the meteor gets bigger until it crashes into them. It's Black Adam, not The Rock, the good Black Adam. Later on, young Billy Batson wakes up in a Superman t-shirt. He's trying to get stronger, but he doesn't have any food. He lives alone in a sketchy place, and he stands up to a homeless man being bullied, but gets slapped for it. He gives the homeless man a subway token and heads over to a diner, where Clark Kent is waiting for him with some breakfast, a lot of breakfast. Clark is writing an article about him and notices the bruise on his face. Billy is tired of being good, but suddenly Black Adam attacks them out of nowhere, knowing that Billy is chosen. He eats Clark out of there, and Clark whips out the suit while Billy is trying to run away. Black Adam throws a fire truck at Billy, but Superman saves him and they fight. But Black Adam uses magic, Superman's weakness. Superman grabs Billy and tries to escape, but Black Adam is on their tail. They are a physical match, but Superman is vulnerable to magic, but he has heat vision and knocks him down under an obelisk before crumbling down. It is not over yet, and Billy runs away. He heads down the subway and gets a token back from the homeless man. Down below, he is stuck between Black Adam and a metro, but he somehow ends up inside the metro. The token starts glowing, and magic erupts everywhere. Billy sees his memories, and then the subway heads to a whole other dimension. In there, Billy finds the 7 deadly sins and the wizard Shazam. He explains that Black Adam was once chosen, but he abused his powers and was banished to the farthest star in the universe. 5,000 years later, Billy is chosen as the next Captain Marvel because he is pure. The place starts to crumble, and Billy is sent back to find Superman getting whooped. Billy intervenes, but he doesn't know how to use his powers. He accidentally says Shazam, and lightning strikes. He's big, he's strong, and he's fast as he now matches Black Adam. He says Shazam again, falls into the water, and is barely able to say it again, as he's drowning. He flies out, but is immediately attacked by Black Adam. Black Adam is now angry, but Superman blasts him away. Black Adam tries to fight back and use his magic again, but they gang up on him, so Black Adam turns into Boyka. Together, they take him out. He finds a dam and destroys it, which gets Superman to focus on stopping the flood while they fight 1 versus 1. Black Adam uses an innocent woman to threaten Shazam, thinking he's a god. Shazam turns back to save her, but Black Adam throws her in the air anyway, and stops Billy from saying the word. Superman then saves everything and everyone all at once before fighting Black Adam once again. But now Billy is tired of being weak. He destroys Black Adam by himself, and Superman has to calm him down before he kills him. He lets him go, and the homeless guy takes over. Turns out he's working with the wizard as Billy's guardian angel. To avoid banishment, Black Adam lets go of his powers and crumbles away after aging 5,000 years in a single moment. Later on, Billy finds the article that Clark has written about him. The bullies then grab him once again, this time daring him to say a word, and so he does. And now we move on to the West Coast in this story that is still important to the DC Universe and the power hierarchy. An actor named Foster Brennan is about to take a swim in his home in LA, but a bomb had been planted and kills him. As the police investigates, Detective Jim heads over to look into it even though the case is not his, but he is involved with the family. He questions around and finds security footage of masked culprits. Later on at a movie studio, the dead man comes back to haunt one of his suspects. He intends to take revenge and turns into the Spectre. He animates the statues around and they attack the man. He tries to fight them off but gets bitten and falls down the stairs. He runs and locks himself away, but there is an ape inside with him, and you can guess that he now dies. The next day, Jim is scolded for investigating a case that's not his and is told that the suspects are now dying. At night, another one of the suspects grabs his money and tries to flee. He drives on the way to Mexico, but the Spectre interrupts him and says only a guilty man will try to flee. He messes with his car for a bit before taking control, driving him into the air and making him crash. He then chases him around with his own car and tries to run him over, but the man keeps running until the car crashes on top of him. Later, Jim visits Brennan's daughter Amy, who appears to be involved with her father's murder. She tries to get him to run away with her, but he intends to arrest her for the murder. She tries to shoot him, but Jim turns out to be the Spectre, who uses the money to slice her open until she dies. He turns back into Jim. It's his job to avenge people who have been wronged. The Spectre goes on to become one of the most important characters in the DCAU, now going from green to green. There is a huge traffic jam at the Star City airport due to the arrival of a princess. Oliver Queen is trying to pick up someone when the arrow says green. Get it? Anyways, after he parks, he spots a suspicious man, which turns out to be Merlin, one of the villains. The princess's security is clearing things up, and tensions are running high. Suddenly, one of the security guards gets shot, and the rest immediately get attacked. Before they can get the princess, Green Arrow foils the assassination plan and saves her. He grabs her and runs while being shot at, before clearing an escape route using his tech. They zipline across, but Merlin is alerted of their escape and goes after them, shooting Green Arrow with an arrow to the knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
He deals with it and starts firing back before the princess tells him that her father died, making her the official queen now. They use a cargo car, and they theorize that her uncle is behind this to become king, as there is an explosion that makes them head back inside. The fighting continues inside, and a goon delivers these hands on Ollie, until Ollie resorts to grappling. He gets bit and beaten after, but Oliver manages to use his bow to win. They slip and fall into baggage claim, and Merlin is there waiting with an arrow. They keep talking and propose to fire one arrow each, but they crash into each other, marking Oliver as the winner of the duel. Vertigo suddenly enters the room and uses his powers to take them out, but they are saved by Black Canary, who screams his ears off. Oliver decides to propose to her in the middle of this, as he's already on his knees, and they forget the issue they're in, but the day is saved. And for the final story, we go back to the Wild Wild West. Straight out of Red Dead Redemption, a man rides into town and shoots a dog. He enters the town salon, and everything goes quiet. All eyes are on him. He announces himself as Red Doc, looking for a fight with anyone there. The drunk man makes his way through, and people are terrified of him. He bosses everyone around, and a lady, Madame Lorraine, meets him. She takes him upstairs, and they start getting into some funny business. It's a setup, though, as she shoots him while in bed before they rob him and get rid of his body. The next day, another rider comes through, this one more mysterious than the one before. He strolls through town, and everyone seems to stare at him. They know him as the legendary Jonah Hex. A kid challenges him to a duel, but gets knocked out. Jonah enters the bar, looking for Red Doc, and one of the women offers to help for money to skip town. She explains that Madame Lorraine picks up men, and they disappear. Jonah offers drinks to the entire bar, and Madame Lorraine tries to get him as well. They go upstairs, and he starts questioning her. Meanwhile, her men are trying to flank him. He launches his hat at her and knocks her out before a shootout begins. The big guy knocks him down, but he evades his axe. He starts hitting him, burning his face before knocking him out. The shooting doesn't end there, as he has to take out the bartender, announcing that drinks are on the house. Finally, he goes back to the lady, and she takes him to Red Doc's resting place inside a mine tunnel. They go down and find countless bodies left by her. She tries to stab him, but he evades her. After grabbing what he came for, he leaves her there to rot with the company she put there, and she starts going crazy. It was fun seeing solo stories of characters we all love but never saw much of. These stories showed us more depth and another side to the characters that we typically only see for a brief moment in bigger movies. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about these stories. Did you like seeing multiple shorter stories rather than just seeing one? Which one was your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.